sort of sticking with the Packers and their offense, we've touched on it a little bit, but what else do you think the Packers need to do offensively as well with Jordan Love to, be able to win this game?
The last time you guys played Philadelphia, you went 1-4 in the red zone, and it really irritated me because you forced 2 turnovers early in that game, and you only get field goals out of them. The name of the game is being able to punch the ball in the end zone. You got to be able to get 6 once you get inside the 20. You're going to have a difficult time beating this Eagles team this go around because, like you're not going to have the mishaps that comes with playing the first game of the season anymore. Both of these teams are seasoned. They don't really make a lot of self-inflicted errors. So for the Green Bay Packers, when you do get inside the 20 against this defense, you got to take advantage of it because even if you do have one of your better games, it still is going to be tough sledding for the majority of the afternoon against this squad. But Josh Jacobs has been a phenomenal this year. I mean, he's been fantastic, and that's been partially the reason why Jordan Love, I think he hasn't been going super gunslinger on us because with how good Josh Jacobs has been, it seems like LaFleur has leaned into him a lot. And I would say he pretty much is the focal point of this offense. When you get Josh Jacobs going, he's running guys over. He's stiff-arming guys to the ground. He's looking like Marshawn Lynch reincarnated. That's really when this offense is flowing because then you can get the play-action passing game going. Then that's when we get to see those deep shots to Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. As long as you can find ways to capitalize in the red zone, you got a very good chance at being able to win this game. So for me, with how well coached this unit is, remember, people don't give LaFleur enough credit for how good of a job he's done with this team because when Jordan Love had to miss a few games with an injury and Malik Willis was coming in there, everybody was like, oh, Lord, there goes the season. And all of a sudden, Malik Willis looks like, holy cow, a competent starting quarterback on LaFleur. He changed the offense around. So let's give LaFleur some credit in this game. And to be honest with you, I feel like LaFleur has a huge advantage when it comes to the coaching side of this game because Nick Sirianni, I like Nick Sirianni. I think he's a little bit overhated. He wins, but he does have a tendency to, be a little bit too overly aggressive. He can mismanage the game in certain areas. When it comes to LaFleur, I feel like you're going to have a great game plan offensively. He's going up against Vic Fangio. Definitely going to be a tough matchup. But, the Packers are in really good hands with all the pieces you guys have at receiver, Josh Jacobs dominating, and even your backup running back is pretty good as well. So, I mean, shoot, I'll be really surprised if we see Green Bay's offense, struggle in this game. Anything less than 17 points in this matchup would shock me.
Yeah, no, you make a ton of great points there, and definitely, Josh Jacobs, he's been dominating all season long. Great signing there. And I think, with moving on from Aaron Jones, at the moment, that was shocking when that happened. And for an hour, it seemed as if the Packers were going to have Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones. And that would have been interesting. But, Josh Jacobs has dominated this season. And I think especially in the second half of the season, LaFleur has really focused a ton on the run game. I think just because at times Love can be, inconsistent with his accuracy. And so we did see a ton of picks early on in the season. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's the end of the world as long as he's not throwing 2 or 3, just because he is sort of that gunslinger and when he sort of lets loose. But, in this game, if the Eagles defense does have a weakness, which I don't know if you could call it a weakness, but their rushing defense is 10th in rush yards per game allowed, 9th in rush yards per play, which is still obviously really good, but their passing offense, fewest pass yards allowed, fewest pass yards per play. So the rushing, defense would be the weakness compared to their secondary. So considering the Packers have found a ton of success on the ground all year, I expect them to try to, get it going early. But I also feel like, LaFleur can't be too focused on the run, that he can't, allow Jordan Love to really go out there and, try to make some big plays. And not that he doesn't, but I just think the Packers need to be more aggressive. And, if Love throws a pick or two, you don't want it to happen, but I don't think Love needs to go out there playing safe football. I think this is a game where he really needs to just let loose, like I think he was more early in the season. And I think that's going to be a big thing here just because of how good the Eagles' offense is. And so we'll get into that in a second. But, and you make up a great point too. There's been a ton of talk, just looking at my comments. There's some people who want Matt LaFleur fired, but I just think that would be crazy. I mean, that'd be crazy.
People want Matt
We don't
LaFleur
even need to talk about it
fired?
much. I mean, there's every opinion out there at all times. So, but he is he's 13th in winning percentage all time, like 67-32. So, every coach is going to make some mistakes here and there, and people are getting on him a little bit about his, timeout usage last game, things like that. But I'm honestly not concerned. I think that it's easy at times to put things on a coach, but I don't whatsoever. I mean, I don't know if there are many other coaches I would want over Matt LaFleur. And I think one of the biggest things for the Packers offense is playing clean football, because part of the reasons they lost to the Vikings and against the Bears, looking at that Vikings game, they were moving the ball fine first drive. Josh Jacobs fumbles it. They had like a 3rd and 1. They convert it, and then there was legal formation, bring it back 5. They go punt it on 4th down. And Love started off a little shaky in that one as well, just accuracy-wise. So they just need to play clean football. And I think if they come into this game, don't start off sloppily, I think that they can, have a legit chance here. And, I think that people aren't giving them quite the respect just because of their past 2 games. And I think they're going to turn it around here. So it should be interesting. But I like how you brought up Malik Willis, because from what I've seen from Malik Willis this year, he's looked pretty solid. I really do think even with Malik Willis, the Packers offense would be pretty effective, because his accuracy has been pretty on point. He also has that running ability. Jordan Love does, but it seems the Packers are more willing to run with Malik Willis because he's more of a runner. Love can escape, but he doesn't really like to run the ball much. So Malik has been, and that shows Matt LaFleur's, ability to bring in a guy who is who failed over, hadn't really found success earlier, and then come into Green Bay right away. It's like, look at that. I mean, that was a great job there by Malik Willis.